It's Slavic, man. Slavic. Yeah, it's funny, I was just thinking the other day, man, this thought just popped into my head, man. Just random. When we were talking about money, it just occurred to me about money, man. It's like, money is just like a unit, like a currency that just kind of like it kind of unites everybody, and it's like it's like what when someone sees money, people's antennas go up, Slavic, the antennas go up. So I was like thinking, like, what's the most money you ever found on the ground? What's the most you've ever picked up off the ground? I started thinking about that. For me, I picked up a 20 one time off the ground. I found a 20. But actually, a more memorable time was when I picked up a $10 bill in a flea market, Slavic. Picked up a $10 bill in a flea market. And I was walking in the flea market, and there was like 100 people in this one row of the flea market. And in the middle of the row, there was a $10 bill sitting in the middle of the row where people are walking, man. So I looked at the $10 bill, and I was like, well, should I pick it up? I was like, I'll let it go. I wasn't sure if maybe somebody knew that they lost it and come back, So I was like, all right, I left. I left that row, and I went to another row. I went to the next row over. And then I was in that row for a couple minutes, and then I went back. I went back to the row where the $10 bill was, and it was still sitting in the middle of the row. It was still sitting there on the ground, Slavic. It was still sitting there, and people are walking by oblivious, man. And I just walked up, and I was like, what the heck? I'm taking it. So I picked it up off the ground, and I took it. With all these people walking around in the Tacony flea market, man. It was like about 20 years ago. I'll never forget that. That was a memorable pickup of money. But I found money too. Yeah, I found a $20 bill. I picked up a $20 bill one time. And another time when I was delivering mail out in West Philly, I was at my truck, and I was loading mail. I was loading my bag, at the truck, at the end of the truck, and I looked down and I saw a $20 bill, and then I looked a little further over, and I saw a $10 bill, and then I looked a little further from that, and there was another 20. There was $50 on the ground, Slavic, $50 on the ground. But that time I didn't pick it up, man. I knew better. I was out in West Philly, man. So I didn't know if it was drug money or what the heck it was. So, I actually saw a lot of people like moving or walking around, and like it looked like they were looking for the money. And then there was this dude there. He was just happened to be there, and I said to him, hey, what's going on? There's all this money on the ground. And he's like, some guy, he lost the money. He was going to buy a computer with it, and he needed that money, and he lost it. I guess it got away from him. But that was the story. I never picked it up, man. Nope, didn't touch it. No. So what is the least amount you would pick up? Would you pick up a quarter, or would you pick up a nickel, or would you pick up a penny? Would you even pick up a penny? I mean, what's your limitations for picking up old money on the street? I would pick up anything, even if it's a penny. I'll pick it up. What the heck? Put it in my pocket. A nickel. It doesn't matter. I'd pick up any I pick up all change off the ground. I'm just like that, you know. Some people probably would walk by and they're like, they wouldn't even give a shit. They would just keep going, you know, Slavic. But, you know, I would pick it up, you know. I mean, you know, it's like you pick a coin off the ground, like a penny even. You know, it's like, it's interesting. It's like you pick a penny up or a nickel or whatever, and you don't know where this penny has been. You don't know where this coin has been. And the first thing I do is I look at the year. You know, the year. If the year is like 19, you know, if it's sort of like an old coin, if it's like 1955, and I'm thinking to myself, you know how many people have handled this penny from 1955? I mean, it's amazing how much circulation has gone through with just one penny. Like how many people have handled just one penny from 1955. It's been floating around, and somebody had it, and then they traded it in, and somebody else had it. It's crazy. There's a history with the coins, you know. There's a history. Yeah, I mean, you don't know. I mean, this may have been like a penny from 1955 or whatever year, like 1945 or whatever year. You don't know who handled it. Maybe it was a famous person. You never know. It might have been a president. Might have been a president of the United States, or it might have been a famous actor or you know, famous athlete. Yeah, you just don't know. So those are the things I think about whenever I see coins on the ground. Where have they been? You know. And you know, at one point, those coins bought things. So I picked them up. And I put him in my little piggy bank here, you know, my little kitty here, and then I exchange him at the coin store, you know, that's all. No harm done, man. No harm done, Slavic. So those are just my passing thoughts for today. So the things I thought about, you know, with the power of money. So, you know, all I say to you out there is, you know, you're walking, strolling, casually, you know, out on the street. Look down on the ground, man. You never know what you might find. Never know what you might find. There's gold in them hills, man. There's gold in them hills. Never forget that. Slavic order. Slavic Central, man.